Today we're exploring a really powerful idea called the window of tolerance. The window of tolerance is about figuring out why we get so stressed out, and more importantly, what we can actually do about it. You know that feeling, right? One minute you're anxious, your brain is racing a million miles an hour, and the next you're just numb, totally shut down. It's like emotional whiplash. If you've ever wondered what is going on with me, well, you're about to find out. So here's the thing, those feelings, they're not random. Not at all. They're actually signals, clues from your nervous system telling you how it's coping with everything life is throwing at you. And the cool part is there's a way to understand it, a kind of map for our emotions, and that map is called the window of tolerance. I want you to picture it as your sweet spot. It's an optimal zone where you feel well. You feel like you're present, you're connected, you can handle the curveballs life throws your way without completely losing it. It's when everything inside just feels balanced. Okay, but what happens when stress shows up? Because you know it always does. This image shows it perfectly. A stressor can literally push us right out of that balanced window. We either get shot up into a state called hyperarousal, or we drop down into hypoarousal. Let's dig into what those actually feel like. To really get this, we need a quick look under the hood of our nervous system. There are two main parts, and the car analogy here is just perfect. Think of your sympathetic nervous system as the gas pedal. It revs you up, gets you ready for action. That's your classic fight or fright. Then you've got the parasympathetic system. That's the brakes. It's what helps you slow down, rest and digest when we're in our window of tolerance. The gas and the brakes are working together beautifully. So what happens when that gas pedal gets floored and just stuck down? That's hyperarousal. That's the frazzled feeling. It's anxiety, it's panic. Sometimes it's rage. Your heart is pounding, you can't catch your breath, and your body is just swimming in stress hormones. You're ready for a fight, but you're totally on overdrive. Now on the flip side, what if the stress is just too much to handle? Well, the system can slam on the brakes so hard that everything just shuts down. That's hypoarousal. That's the foggy state. You feel numb, maybe disconnected from your own body, or just completely drained. It's actually a survival mechanism, your body's way of saying nope, too much. This state also helps your body conserve energy. No, this is where it gets really interesting. Check out this graph. It shows the whole journey. A stressor hits and boom, we spike up right out of our comfort zone into that hyper-aroused state. But here's the key. Our bodies can't stay revved up like that forever. If the stress doesn't let up, the system gets exhausted and we just crash. We fall all the way down into that hypoarousal shutdown. So this all leads to a really important question, right? Why does it feel like some people have a hair trigger getting pushed out of their window at the drop of a hat, while others seem more resilient? Well, it turns out the size of our window isn't the same for everyone, and it can actually shrink. And the size of your window matters a lot. This image just makes it click, doesn't it? If you've got a narrow window, your margin for handling things is tiny. The smallest little stressor, a frustrating email, a traffic jam, can be enough to send you skyrocketing up or crashing down simply because there's not much room to breathe. So what makes a window smaller? Well, there are a few big things. Past trauma is a major one. It can basically rewire your nervous system to be on high alert all the time. Being neurodivergent, like with autism or ADHD, can also play a huge role, often meaning the nervous system is just a bit more sensitive or rigid. All this can lead to a quicker stress response and something called lower vagal tone, which is basically a fancy way of saying your system has less flexibility to bounce back. But here's the really hopeful part. Your window size, it's not set in stone. You can actually work to make it bigger. And that's what this is all about. We're going to talk about a whole toolkit of things you can do to help your nervous system regulate itself and expand that window. So let's start with the tools you have with you right now, your breath and your voice. These are amazing because they have a direct line to something called the vagus nerve. Think of the vagus nerve as the master controller for your nervous system's brakes. Tapping into it is how we tell our body it's safe to calm down. So what does that actually look like? Well, the most obvious one is slow, deep breathing. It's simple, but it's a super powerful way to signal all clear to your body. But it doesn't have to be all serious. In Zen, a really good belly laugh does the trick by stimulating that same nerve. Same with humming or chanting, or just belting out your favorite song in the car. Next up in our toolkit, engaging your body and your senses when you're feeling all revved up or totally checked out. These physical techniques can be an amazing way to ground yourself and come back to the present moment. And the key here is finding movement that feels good to you. Maybe that's a walk, maybe it's dancing in your kitchen, or maybe it's stretching. Also, a massage is a fantastic way of stimulating the right spots. And it doesn't have to be from a pro, just rubbing your own hands or feet can release calming hormones. There's even a technique called havening, which is basically a form of self-soothing touch, kinda like giving yourself a hug. It's been shown to create a real sense of safety. And finally, let's talk about supporting your system from the inside out. This is about both what you put in your body and how you interact with your environment. Sometimes these simplest things make the biggest difference, believe it or not. A quick blast of cold water in the shower, like just 30 seconds, can give that vagus nerve a little jolt. Mindfulness and meditation, of course, are huge for learning to observe what's happening without getting swept away by it. And this is a big one. Don't underestimate your gut. The gut-brain connection is real, so things like probiotics and omega-3s can actually help build your resilience to stress. So when you put all these tools together, the goal is to make a fundamental shift. You stop being a thermometer, just reacting to whatever's happening around you, and you start becoming the thermostat where you can actually regulate your own internal weather. A great way to start is by just checking in. Let's call it mapping your nervous system. It sounds complex, but it's not. All you do is pause once or twice a day. Take a breath and just scan your body. What do you feel? Is there tension in your jaw, butterflies in your stomach? Perhaps a sense of calm? The goal isn't to fix it, just to notice it. That's how you start learning your own personal map, because that's what this is all about, really. I love this quote. A larger window doesn't mean you'll never have stress again. I mean, come on, that's impossible. It means you'll have a greater capacity to handle that stress. It means you can face the ups and downs of life while staying present, while staying you. So I'll leave you with this to think about. What's one thing, just one small thing you can do today to check in with your nervous system? It doesn't have to be some grand gesture. Maybe it's just taking one single slow, deep breath, or just noticing for 5 seconds how your feet feel on the ground.